My name is Mark Klein and I'm a fourth generation oilman. These new Chapter 78 regulations, the way they are now written, will destroy the conventional oil and gas industry. The unconventional industry and the conventional industry are very different and should not be regulated the same. The conventional industry drills shallow, vertical wells that produce oil and gas under low pressures. Our well locations average around 100 foot long by 50 foot wide. The unconventional locations average 5 acres. The wells are drilled deep vertically and then horizontally for a long distance. Most unconventional wells have many wells branching off the vertical shaft in many directions. They can cover a square mile underground. The unconventional and conventional wells are environmentally safe as both industries work very, very hard at this. People that do not believe this statement are not very well informed with the truth or just completely uninformed. I would like to speak about some of these regulations, such as Regulation 78.57, which is called Control, Storage, and Disposal of Production Fluids. This regulation says the bottom of the pit must be at least 20 inches above seasonal high ground level. That must be determined by a soil scientist or someone we have paid to have trained. I checked into how they determine seasonal high groundwater, and it is complicated and expensive. When the new regulations call for a 30 mil liner, what chance is there that anything would ever get to the water table? We have been drilling oil wells for 155 years in Pennsylvania without checking for seasonal high groundwater or 30 mil pit liners and have not heard one thing. Our drill cuttings and production fluids are very different than the unconventional industry. The next part of the regulation reads as, the pit is structurally sound and the inside slopes of the pit are not steeper than a ratio of 2 horizontal to 1 vertical. The conventional operator usually digs a pit that is 30 foot long by 10 foot wide and 8 foot deep. This new regulation will make the area that we have to dig up to be 62 feet long by 42 feet wide and 8 foot deep. We make most of our drilling locations only 100 foot long by 50 foot wide, so we disturb as little of the environment as possible. With this regulation, we will have to double the size of our locations to accommodate the pit, and that is on flat ground. If the location is on the side of a hill, we might have to disturb 3 times that much so that we can get the 2-to-1 slope you require. This new regulation will never benefit the environment. I would like to say that even though I do not have a college degree, I have something that is much more valuable. I have over 100 years of experience through my family in the oil and gas business, and I can say without a doubt that these regulations will do more environmental harm than good. I would also say without a doubt that it will destroy our conventional oil and gas industry. There are over 7,200 conventional oil and gas operators in Pennsylvania that employ over 26,000 people in good paying jobs. We contribute over $7 billion a year, along with $200 million going to royalty owners. We are a very valuable industry in this state, and we should be receiving help to stay in business instead of being put out of business. We must be excluded from these regulations and go back to the regulations before Act 13. Also have our own inspectors, as it is too much for them to learn and use regulations from both industries. Thank you.
Thank you. Jack? No.